Good morning. Hello. Hello. Welcome, Nikki. Welcome, Hannah. Welcome to Morning Mindset. I hope you guys are well. This is a beautiful Tuesday. I think we're on Tuesday. Yes, we are. Beautiful Tuesday morning today here in Egypt. Actually, the weather started to change. It's funny because I always have the assumption that around the 1st of September, the clouds will start to appear. Because we pretty much have zero cloud all summer, and lo and behold, it's come a couple of days early. But yeah, I'm super excited about today. We are continuing to unpack our theme of next level accountability this week, which is basically taking our daily accountability practice, which we do at the end of Morning Mindset. We're unpacking it into how to step it up to the next level. So the accountability practice, I've kind of done an entry level one in Morning Mindset. If you have been following the event we just did, and then we've got the one sourcing mastery that we're doing, then there's a lot of next level stuff in that. That's very much the next level. Morning Mindset is very much the entry level, but I'm going to give you some tips today on what you can do with the visualization portion of the accountability. Then there's one more thing. Tomorrow we cover the task. But today we're talking specifically about the visualization. So this is very interesting. So I've met so many people that say, I just can't visualize. Like, I find it difficult. And we're going to talk about this today because actually a visualization is simply an active imagination, okay? So a lot of people say, well, I don't have the imagination, but you do. Now, if we reverse back to what we were talking about yesterday in the Power of Now quote I gave you, where it's basically there's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, there's only today, right now, in the present moment. And we've been talking about this week, and I'm hoping that it's making more sense. You know, in the end of the day, things that have happened to us, when we recreate them in our minds, it's an act of imagination. It's not happening now. It's not, I mean, in some we're getting into multi-dimensions and things like that. Some might say it's happening now because we change the trajectory once we step in alignment with the person that we're being. But my point is, we are simply remembering memories, thinking about yesterday, thinking about where you retracing your steps for when you lost your keys, even, thinking about, oh, do you remember that birthday party? Or do you remember the day that, I can vividly remember the day that all my children were born as if it was happening yesterday or today. I can vividly remember that. That is an act of imagination. Visualization is also an act of imagination. So if you can remember yesterday and recreate that in your mind, then you can absolutely do that for tomorrow. Because what we have to do is step into a point of being. And when we step into a point of being, and there is only now, and time is all relative around us, then we can start remembering tomorrow. And we can start creating that in our mind as if we are remembering it. So how do we do that? Because you say, well, it's easy to recreate an act of imagination for something that's already happened because I know what it looks like. This is a good question. This is, why we're unpacking this. So it's actually about assumptions and affirmations, okay? So when you want to remember tomorrow, or you want to remember something that has already happened as if it had already happened, then you have to associate it with an assumption. And you have to associate it with some sort of affirmation to ensure that the visualization is the kind of right visualization that you want to create for yourself, that you don't want to create something, bad. It's really interesting how so many times when we look at worst case scenarios, we'll actually make an imaginal act of creating that worst case scenario in our minds so we can almost scare ourselves more about it. But we are able to do that. You know, oh, what if this happened? And then suddenly you imagine, what if that happened? What would happen to me? What would my life look like? Now you have to do the same with your assumptions of your goal and affirm it with your goal. So let's say, for example, and this is all from who you're being now, as if you already had the goal. We talked about waiting yesterday, that we have to stop waiting for it. And if you didn't see that video yesterday, go back. It's the one before you achieve the goal. We talked about as soon as you're in this mindset of I'm manifesting, you're stuck in the loop, like a cracked record of manifesting, okay? So when you can let go and just be and know, that's when you start to see manifestations come in and you're like, oh, that happened. And you'll notice probably that the more detached you are from the manifestation happening, as in you are no longer manifesting it, then it just sort of happens. I'll give you an example. I'm not intentionally manifesting these things, but they just suddenly appear and I'm like, oh yeah. So yesterday, I'd been considering getting a dog bed for my dog. My dog loves to go on the sofa, and he knows he's not allowed to go on the sofa, but when anyone's not looking or everyone's asleep, he's on the sofa. So there's dog hair on the sofa every morning. So I'm like, I need to get this dog a dog bed, but I kind of like never intended like I'm going to go out and get a dog bed, you know, or I'm going to go and start shopping for a dog bed. I just had in my mind, this dog needs a dog bed. I didn't think anything of it after that. Yesterday, on my Facebook feed, something pops up, dog bed for sale, 2 seconds down the road. I was like, oh, there's the dog bed. So I wrote, like loads of people had already said, yeah, I'll take it. I just private messaged her and said, I'll take it, when can I come pick it up? She wrote back to me, said, Insta pay me the money, it's round the back of my house, you can go walk around and get it. There's the dog bed. So it happened. You have to understand the concept of time. The thought of wanting to have a dog bed was a fleeting thought of, I've got to get a dog bed. And then I didn't think about it after that. Maybe I'd affirmed, the affirmation was, I've got to get a dog bed. And maybe every time I saw my dog on the sofa and I told him to get down, that might have triggered in my mind, I need that dog bed, right? But I never looked for it. I never went searching for it. And then one day, the circumstance simply appeared on my phone and it's here now. It was completely effortless. So if you can be in that process, if you're doing a visualization, for sure, I visualized my dog on a dog bed because I wanted him off the sofa. And when I thought to myself, I need to get a dog bed, I immediately had a picture of that in my mind of my dog on a dog bed. But I didn't constantly affirm it and say, I need the dog bed, I need the dog bed. It just was a thought. I had a mental image for about 2 to 3 seconds, like done. 2 to 3 seconds, I had a mental image in my head of this dog bed. And funnily enough, the dog bed that I got is very similar to the mental picture that I had in my mind. And it just appeared effortlessly. Like it was nothing. Now, with our visualization, if we can step into these frames of assumption, the assumption being you already have what it is that you want. You are no longer in the manifestation process, you're in the manifested process. And you've got to keep yourself in there by being the person who has already got it. Now, and this is really hard to grasp, if I went searching for a dog bed, I would still be in the process of not having the dog bed, waiting for the dog bed, manifesting the dog bed. I would still be in that process. Instead, I created a mental picture, visualization, seconds. I'd literally, my mind kept pulling myself back to it because I kept seeing the same thing in reality, but I never said to myself, oh, I'm never going to get a dog bed. I just thought, oh, I need that dog bed. And then one day, effortlessly, it's there because of my assumption that there'll be a dog bed there. Because I assumed I'll get a dog bed. Didn't seem that difficult to me, but I just simply didn't want to go looking for it. And also it's summer here, so they don't really use dog beds until winter because they always sleep a lot on the floor because it's cooler. And so the affirmation and the assumption was, of course I'm going to have a dog bed. And the affirmation, like I didn't have any resistance to not having it. It's like, of course it's going to be there. And the affirmation was simply, I've got to get that dog bed. And then it just appeared. But my detachment from it was the knowing, being the person that already had the dog bed because I wasn't looking for it. I was being the person. It's not about thinking to yourself, oh, got to have that dog bed. I was being the person who already had it because I wasn't looking for it. That's what you need in visualization. You visualize yourself as the person that's already had it and don't look for it. And if you want to look for it, if you feel the need to look for it in your mind. Look for it in that active imagination. And you will always find it. You will always find it. And then one day, 3D pops up. Oh, Nikki, I realised yesterday that I manifested our pup from scripting about her. I've wanted one for years and I scripted my life when my goals are achieved and I wrote about walking my dog. Never thought anything more about it and we had no plans together when the perfect situation arose and now I have the exact dog breed I scripted about. So spooky. But, okay, that gave me goosebumps. That totally gave me goosebumps. But is it spooky? It's not. It's just the way things work. It's amazing. It's like the more you can do that, the more you can step into it. And you probably didn't really think constantly about how you needed to get a dog and you needed to get a dog and I've got to find that dog and where's that dog and go looking for that dog. You said the circumstances just aligned, the situation just arose, just like the dog bed. That's how effortless this process is. And it's almost like the more effort you put into it, the less likely it is to happen. Okay, so you probably say to me, well, Michelle, why are we even doing this accountability process? It's to remind you constantly that what are you going to create today? What are you going to manifest today? You don't even have to have the same visualization every day. You can simply visualize what's going to happen today. Money coming in, a partner being super nice to you, someone giving you a gift, someone smiling at you. You know, what do you want to manifest today? Coins, whatever it is. And it just occurs. And then you're like, and you can play with it. I have this little book. I call it Orders Out for Delivery, right? And when I have so sometimes, I have to do visualization, assumptions, affirmations, bring myself, with bigger goals, bring myself back into my accountability with, Michelle, it's already happened. You can do this for morning mindset. This is the only thing I do really in morning mindset and the scripting. And just know it's done. And I go into my visualization process to remember it's done. Just like, when you can't find your keys and you're like, oh, can't find my keys. Where are my keys? Okay, where was my last steps? You remember you still have the keys. Okay, that's remembering it's done. Remembering you have those keys and they're somewhere. That's what this process is, really. This next level version of it is remembering. It's not creating, manifesting, visualizing to get. It's remembering it's already yours. Oh, where did I put that $1 million? Oh, it's in my bank account. Yeah, it's there. I remember. Where's the dog? Oh, I took it for a walk this morning. Yeah, I remember. That's what it is. It's remembering it's yours. And that you're not waiting. And every time you feel like you're waiting, stop waiting. Go in here. 2-3 seconds. Yeah. It's there. That's where it is. And then suddenly it's there. And for no explanation. I'm sure that physics has a good explanation for all this stuff. I'm not into the physics as much. I'm just into this is great and this is what I do every day. So yeah, so the dog bed story, the dog story. We're all manifesting dogs here. Anna's got 3 dogs as well. She's probably thinking about her dogs because she's away right now. Yeah, so all I can say to you is remember. Oh, 4 dogs, sorry. Keep forgetting you, keep picking them up. All I can say to you is remember that it's yours. And don't be in that state of waiting. And don't be in that state of manifesting. Because literally, I didn't go looking. And when I don't go looking for the things that I want, they simply appear. And if I feel myself like I'm still manifesting this, then I'm constantly going to be manifesting it. So I go back, remember it's done, remember it's mine, remember where it is, remember all the money's in my bank account, remember, and then go about your day. Enjoy your day. Be in the moment, be present, enjoy yourself. Go make yourself a coffee. Go and watch something on Netflix. Go and sit down and do some work. Don't think about it anymore. You don't have to work hard for this life. And that's the problem that we're all stuck in, that we have to work for it. And what we have to do is simply enjoy the process and love the process. And know and be that person who already has it. And just understand that when you're sitting there trying to get something, you know, through these affirmations, visualizations, you know, all of that stuff, when you're in a state of looking outside in to the visualization, then it's going to stay a visualization. When you are doing it from it's already mine, I'm simply remembering it's mine, like you remember yesterday, like you remember you have your car keys, like you remember anything, then it's done and it's there. You don't have to worry about it. You wouldn't be worrying about something that was already there. You know, I'm not sitting here looking at this cup of coffee going, oh my God, I wonder where that cup of coffee is. Hello? It's right there. And if that cup of coffee was not there, it's here. So I don't have to be concerned about it. Okay. Felt like that was a big one today. So remember, for today, the visualization process, we're about to start accountability now. The visualization process is really simple. I script out everything. My one single affirmation of life is everything I write down has happened. Everything I write down is done. It's already done. So I have this little book. Each page, I write something down. I just cross it off when it's done. This book to me is like my ticket to not thinking about it anymore and not being concerned about it. And sometimes I will go in to my visualizations and I will see things from the book because I think, well, they're already there. So why not? Why wouldn't I visualize them? They're already there. Go into the visualization not as an act of manifesting and creating something in your life, but go into the visualization as an act of remembering it's already yours. It's already done. You know, and if you want it to look a bit different, tweak it. I love that story, Nikki. I absolutely love that story. Thank you so much for sharing it. That's so cool. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for being here this morning. It's great to have you here. We will be back tomorrow for a final unpacking of the final step in accountability, which is our task, which is an interesting one because obviously that's bringing things more into the 3D. Nikki's loving these sessions. Thank you so much, Nikki. I absolutely love them too, if I can convey anything that just, one day you'll listen to something and just something will pop in, something will make sense, and I really wanted to talk this week really about this accountability, because it is important for me. It's non-negotiable. But my journal is all about what I'm grateful for that I don't necessarily are able to see at the moment, the things that I'm standing here for, you're not waiting for. So that's kind of like where we're moving into, and with the mastery coming up and things like that, obviously with the scripting process, we're moving a lot into this process of it already being done, because that is the quickest way to get there. But unfortunately for some people, it's just a little bit too far afield to sort of go directly in it to start with. So that's why we start with our gentle accountability, just to get in the habit of remembering, thinking, visualizing, imaginational acts, knowing what we want, knowing what our goals are. We have to still do that groundwork and that foundation work. Okay, so I'll see you back here tomorrow. We're going to do accountability now. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to unpacking you the final session for this week tomorrow before we do our oracle cards on Thursday. So thank you guys. Take care. Before we begin, don't forget you can join me live online inside Virtual Co-working Space at www.virtualmissfriday.com/VCS. If you enjoy this session, give it a like. I'd love to hear from you, so write me a comment. And so you don't miss any updates, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. So now we're going to look for the positive with our gratitude. First, we'll spend 1 minute thinking of the day before, thinking of all the things that happened, reflecting on work, interactions, relationships, memorable moments, and more. Now you'll write one thing down minimum that you're grateful for. You can, of course, write down more. Something good, something that went right, a small moment or a big win. The more you search for things to be grateful for, the more you will experience things to be grateful for. Now we're going to read out your goal. Make sure your goal is written down in a journal or somewhere you can easily access it. Read your goal now, ideally out loud, and commit to this goal. Believe it will happen. And by reading this daily, the universe knows clearly what your goal is, and the things begin to shift in the direction of your goal. Follow your instincts when this happens by taking action. Now you need to see your goal in visualization. Spend this minute thinking about the goal in your mind. See yourself taking steps towards the goal, or even better still, see yourself having already achieved the goal. Close your eyes and go there. Step into the feeling, step into the place, step into the accomplishment.
And finally, it's time for your most important task. Set this task for today and make it relating to your goal. This could be something small like sending an email, recording a video, or making a phone call, or it could be bigger. Either way, one task a day is one step forward, and those steps will add up. Do what you can from where you are now. Set the intention, and the action will carry you towards your goal. Well done you for completing your daily co-create session. Have a fantastic day ahead, and I'll see you next time.